Run to your TVs, folks. Coming up next, chefs, wise guys, or fat fellas? You decide when Fat Larry and Fat Vinny cook up a dish you can't refuse on the Mangia Mangia Show.
Fat Vinny. Fat Vin.
What?
Wake up. You smell that?
Yeah, I thought it was in my dream. I was dreaming of clams. What is that?
What could that be?
Frog eyes. Father the pirida.
What are you accusing me for? It's coming from the trunk.
What is that?
I think you better pull over.
Yeah, let me pull over here.
Watch. Be careful.
Ah, it's the provolone. Mean. There you go.
Good job, Frankie Frog Eyes.
Ooh, thank you, Frank. Grazie. Delicious.
As far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a food critic.
And just a gigolo, and everywhere I go, the people know the part I'm playing. Paid for every dance, selling its romance. Oh, what they say. There will come a day, and youth will pass away. What will they say about me? When the end comes, I know there's just a gigolos. Life goes on without me, and just a gigolo everywhere I go. People know the part I'm playing. Paid for every day.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mangia Mangia Show with Fat Larry and my brother Fat Vinny. Today we're going to be reviewing Bobby Van's Steakhouse.
The best steakhouse in New York.
Yeah, that's what you say. We're going to see, Fat Vinny.
You'll see.
But first we're going to take you to our kitchen, and we're going to show you how to make a great Italian meat sauce from scratch.
What's the connection? Steakhouse, Italian meat sauce.
Ask our esteemed director. He would know a giraffe from a cow.
Oh, the director. I got
Yes.
news for you. The director's going to need a funeral director if this thing don't work out over here.
And for you folks, we'll see you in the kitchen.
If you don't stop this and mind your business and keep your mouth shut, you're going to wind up with a knuckle print on your head.
Larry.
Knuckle. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There are two secret ingredients to successful cooking. One is the buying and shopping for nothing but the finest ingredients. And remember, nothing is too good for the best, you and your family. The other is here, right here. When you cook from here, oh, you send out signals to everybody in your family about how much you love them.
Yeah. Very good. I agree, Larry. Nothing bothers me more than when I go to a supermarket and I see these women buying jarred sauces and canned sauces off a shelf. They could do it at home. You can do it at home. We're going to show you how to do it. Making a sauce is an event. You're going to enjoy it all day. The house is going to fill with beautiful aromas. The basilic oil, the garlic frying, the meat frying, tomatoes boiling.
You know, Vin, you're right. You're right. Why do these people have to go and buy sauce off the shelf? I mean, sauce.
What are you interrupting here?
Well, I'm telling you, everybody's sauce. You're right. Everybody's sauce is different. Sauce is a signature. Sauce is like it's like a fingerprint. It's different.
fingerprint?
Yeah.
Frog Eyes.
What
If
is
you
it,
don't
Larry?
stop this and mind your business and keep your mouth shut, you're going to wind up with a knuckle print on your head.
Larry,
Knuckle print.
Vinny, you guys
How do
invited
you-
me down here.
why
You
do
invited
you
me down. I'm
make this
agreeing
guy
with him.
come
I'm
here?
just agreeing with you. That's
You don't
all.
hold- Go sit over there.
And
Go
cook your
stay over
food.
there.
I'm going to go right over here.
He's going to taste the food.
We need him to tell us if the food is good or bad. Do I look like I need a food taster?
No, but he's good. He knows what he's doing. But forget about it. Let's move on.
Let's forget about it. It's right.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be using a fine olive oil. chopped garlic, the black pepper, salt, red onion, and the imported Italian whole tomatoes and crushed tomatoes.
Let's talk about the tomatoes, man, Larry.
For those of you, ladies and gentlemen, who have a garden in your backyard and you grow your own tomatoes, there's nothing better than that, especially if you're growing the basil with it. But if you're not, there's nothing like an imported Italian tomato.
You gotta buy imported tomatoes from Italy. The Italian plum tomatoes are the sweetest tomatoes in the world. When you're shopping for tomatoes, make sure the bottom of the can is stamped product of Italy. They have the finest, sweetest tomatoes. If it doesn't say product of Italy, you might wind up with a tomato from out of Mongolia, and you don't want to put that in your sauce.
That might be a good tomato too, Fat Vinny.
Yeah, but it's a shot.
Oh.
It's guaranteed with Italian tomatoes.
Vinny, why don't you show us how to start the sauce?
Good. Very simple. It's going to take a couple of minutes to put this whole thing together. Get rid of this, Frankie. Let's get this fire going here. And the first thing we do, we cover the bottom of the pot with olive oil. It should be, I don't know, 4 ounces. Very nice. Give me the garlic. Give me the garlic. That's pepper. Pepper. This guy got new glasses yesterday.
I don't know why he's here.
Give me the
I
garlic.
got the garlic.
I
I
told
got
him he
the
could
garlic.
taste, and you want him to help you.
You want the pepper
All right,
next?
we got
Can't help himself.
about 4 cloves of chopped garlic. Keep stirring.
Smells good already, Fat Vinny.
It does. Put this away. As soon as the garlic starts to get a little brown, you add the onions.
You gotta put it down.
Nice.
Frankie. It's gotta go down.
These are nice red onions, fresh. Stirring all this while. All right, folks, I have the onions and the garlic going very nicely here with the oil.
You know, Vinny, they say in Italy that people use the red onions because the red onions are sweeter and they cut the acidity of the tomatoes.
And who asked you for this information?
Well, nobody asked me, but I'm telling you that I happen to know that tomatoes is from the nightshade vegetable variety. Tomatoes, eggplants, potatoes, they're high in acidity. And people believe that by putting sugar in there, they cut the acidity.
You're an eggplant yourself. How
No,
would you
Larry,
know?
Larry Fat. With all due respect, the man happens to be right.
I know I'm right.
How many times you and I have seen people put sugar in their sauce? I mean, that's a...
They do.
That's true.
Yeah,
They do.
but
They
it's a
do.
definite no-no. You shouldn't be doing things like that. The tomatoes, the Italian tomatoes, are sweet enough to keep the sauce sweet. But there are people that like it very sweet. For those people, I recommend cutting up a few carrots, putting it in the sauce. Before you're ready to serve, pull them out. Or invite a couple of rabbits to dinner. Okay, guys, I think we're ready for the tomatoes. The onions and the garlic are nice and soft.
There you go, Vin.
Okay. We add the whole tomatoes first. Be careful not to burn yourself. Some people like to crush the tomatoes in a food mill or put them in a blender. Me, I like a pulpy sauce. I like to crush it with the wooden spoon. Or if this wasn't a TV show, I'd stick my hands in
It's
it.
starting to smell good already.
It smells
Beautiful,
delicious.
isn't it?
Smells
Beautiful.
delicious.
All right, give me the crushed tomatoes. Now we're adding the crushed tomatoes. 4 cups full. Again, Italian crushed tomatoes. Thank you, Mr. Frog Eyes. Looking good here, guys. Okay. Now we add the rest of the ingredients. First, we kick up the fire. We want this to come to a boil. Whole basil leaves, or basilico, like we like to say, back in the old neighborhood. Nothing like fresh basilico.
Black pepper.
Hey, very good. Black pepper.
Where's the salt?
Teaspoon of black pepper.
Where's the salt? A pinch?
A pinch of salt. 2 pinches of salt. Constantly stirring at this point because you don't want anything to burn. If anything burns in this pot, it's going to add bitterness to the sauce, which is a definite no-no. We need some more basil here. We only put a few leaves in. I'd like to put at least a half a cup of basil. Coarsely cut leaves, not chopped, coarsely cut. Stir them in. Then we want the sauce to come to a boil before we put in our meat. After the meat goes in, we're going to simmer for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then we're going to be in Schaefer City.
Don't you think 2 hours is enough?
No, I don't.
There's nothing like a fried meatball. Making good meatballs is an art. We're going to show you. Coming right up.
We're back. We got Frankie Frog Eyes stirring the sauce. We've already added the meatballs and the sausage that we cooked previously. And now we're going to have Fat Vinny walk us through on the meatballs.
Keeping Frankie Eyes out of trouble, yeah.
Well, that's the way we got to keep him there.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the ingredients here are very easily found in any supermarket. The main ingredient in the meatball is naturally the chopped meat. We got about 2.5 pounds of chopped sirloin here. We've got about a 1/4 cup of flat Italian parsley. We're going to use a few leaves of basil or basilico. 3 eggs to that amount of beef. 1/4 cup of pecorino romano, grated cheese, salt, pepper, breadcrumbs. And here we have some garlic. We're going to let you in on a little secret here that our mother taught us. You fry the garlic first, just slightly, before you add it to your meatballs, and the meatballs will not repeat on you. Nice little trick.
And you won't need that brioche about 2 o'clock in the
I
morning.
like the brioche. The pecorino romano, 1/4 cup. Dump the whole thing. Beautiful. Throw that right in there. We got the 3 eggs in there.
The eggs
Okay.
in, Vin.
Parsley. Italian flat parsley. Now please, if you're going to use parsley, use real parsley. Don't use the dried stuff. Don't use the dry parsley. Don't use the dry basil. If you're going to use the dried stuff, don't make meatballs. Make Salisbury steak someplace else. Not even curly parsley. You got to use Italian flat parsley.
And enough of
Not
that.
the dry kind. That's plenty. You're doing good. A couple of pieces of basil. Nice. Break them up. Yeah, that's it. About 10 pieces. Fine. Now, teaspoon of black pepper. Dump it all. A couple of pinches of salt. All right. Now next to the last ingredient is the breadcrumbs. Now the breadcrumbs, we want to use the unseasoned type, because the seasoned type has all that dried stuff in there I just told you not to use. So go ahead, La. Now we got the garlic, the semi-fried garlic that's not going to repeat. I'll dump it in for you. 2 tablespoons. That's about...
My hands are going to get
Yeah,
dirty.
you like that smell on your hands anyway. You use that perfume.
I
don't you?
love it. I love
Oh, the garlic? I know you. Okay, now you're gonna mix it all up. Attaboy, Larry, looking good.
Okay,
I'm gonna go get a little bit of that delicious tomato sauce that we made to add to the meatballs. It'll make the meat nice
Okay,
and
we-
moist and juicy. Put some
Put
of
that
this.
right in there.
Oh my, smell that, huh? Huh?
It
Taste
smells
it.
delicious. You
Just
know,
like Grandma used to make.
speaking of grandma, some Sicilians, you know, they put
There he goes
raisins,
with the
they
Sicilian.
put raisins and pinoles in their meatballs.
How would you know that?
Come on, when I was a kid, I used to come home from church. My grandmother was cooking meatballs.
Your
I used
grandmother?
to smell it. Yeah, my grandmother.
You didn't even know your mother. How would you know your grandmother?
Maybe it was your grandmother.
That's who it
Get out.
was.
Get out of
I
here.
was always in your house,
Get
man.
out
In
of here.
fact, I
Take
think
a
it was
walk
your
for
grandmother.
yourself.
But I've been listening to what you've been saying while you're mixing these meatballs. You
You're
wanna
here
know-
to taste. You're not here to talk.
Did
Go
you
away.
tell the people about oregano? All right? And some people think the more oregano you put, the more Italian it is. Do you know that?
Put that pot on
And
his
the
head.
amount of garlic you use, some people think the more garlic you put, the more Italian it is.
Not true.
They just want a hint of garlic, just a hint of garlic. I think these things are important. You don't mind me sticking my 2 cents?
Yes,
do
we
you?
do. Go back over there.
I'm gonna go stir my.
Thank you
Let's go to
very
the
much.
sauce taster. We got a 2-ounce ice cream scoop here that we're gonna use to scoop out the meatballs. You want pretty much consistency with size when you're making meatballs, so that they all look alike. Very nice. Yeah, make 4 of them, Larry, that's it. Put them right in. The oil could have been a little bit hotter. Just leave it here, leave it here.
What did I tell you?
I got a question.
Take a walk.
Don't some people bake their meatballs this
Some
way?
people bake them, some people put them in microwaves, but that's not the thing to do. The only real meatball, and you know that, Fry Guys, is to fry them. You want a nice crisp outside, you want them to be soft on the inside, and when you don't fry the meatball, you don't have the right flavor, you know that.
And then there's people like you, Frankie. You break them.
I break meatballs. This guy.
You break
I
them.
want to stir my soul.
Frankie, how's about every Sunday morning when you woke up, your mother was frying these meatballs?
It was in our house, right? His mother
Our
was
mother
frying
was frying the
meatballs.
meatball. And that aroma would just wave through the house.
Don't you remember when we were kids, nobody liked him. Nobody liked him.
That's true, just me and you.
All right.
Nothing like a fried meatball for breakfast on a Sunday morning.
Now, you read the box. More often than not, with pound of macaroni, they'll tell you, serves 8. Well, in my house, serves 8 what? 8 munchkins? You know, folks, Fat Larry and Fat Vinny, they don't give me much credit for knowing how to cook, or they don't give me much credit for knowing how to do anything, playing cards and stuff. But you can tell by looking at me, I know my way around the kitchen. I used to love to watch my mother and my grandmother. They tease me about that because I was always at their house, and that's true. And I used to love to watch my mother, my grandmother, their grandmother. I always took an interest in food. And pasta has always been one of the dishes that I enjoy the most. You know, Italians don't really use pasta as a main dish the way we do here in America. You go into a restaurant in America, you order a dish of pasta, they give you a little salad, they call that dinner. Italian meals have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They usually start with the antipasto, right? And maybe it's a salad, maybe it's some different frutta di mare, you know, different seafoods and things. And often, the pasta is just served on the side. Now, some people don't realize this, but when Italians serve pasta, they don't serve potatoes and rice at the same meal. The pasta is the starch for the meal. And usually, it's just a side dish. You know, the Italians call them contorni, the side dishes, literally means to the side or to the corner. And so when an Italian sits down to dinner, the pasta could be either a small portion for a beginning course or just part of a side, like a side of vegetables. Different regions cook pastas different ways with different sauces. You see me stirring continuously here. The reason for that is you don't want your pasta to stick together. It's very important that you keep it loose and that you use enough water, and the water should always be salted because the salt in the water negates some of the starch that comes off the pasta in the water. But let me tell you another little secret. Never rinse your pasta. I've been in restaurants. You know, when I go to a restaurant, sometimes I'll sneak a peek into the kitchen to see how things are going. You may have experienced this yourself. You take a peek in the kitchen, there's a chef, right? He's got maybe 18 pounds of cooked pasta, and he's spraying it or he's rinsing it with water. Don't eat there. You don't want to eat pasta like that, and don't give pasta like that to your family, believe me.
And who told Frankie Fry Guys he can make a movie?
This is why we always tell this guy to shut up.
We gotta put an end to it now.
Well, let's go.
Where you guys going?
We're gonna straighten this guy out.
All right. So as you see, I've wet the pasta with some sauce, and now I'm gonna put it into the serving dish here. We're getting it ready to put it on the plate to serve the family. There we go. Get rid of that pot. Get rid of this spoon. You want to take a little more sauce from your pot. Let me get this close here so I don't make a mess. And you want to dress the macaroni up, right? You want to dress it up a little bit. A little more sauce here. Make it look nice. Now, some people, just for a garnish, they would put a couple of sprigs of basilico on there. There's Locatelli Romano cheese. In some households, they may take a little, just sprinkle it on there just to make it look nice. But basically, everybody has a different taste, a different opinion as to how much cheese they want in their dish. So it's better to put the cheese on the table and let everyone put their own. But there it is. There's your macaroni. It's done al dente. It's piping hot.
Hey, what's going on here?
What
are you doing?
These guys are going to get upset. I took the meat out of the pot and I made the macaroni. I thought you guys were busy doing something else.
Who told you to do this?
I put your apron on. I didn't want to get dirty. I've been talking to the people. We had a nice
made the
conversation.
macaroni?
It's your I made the macaroni. I was worried about the time element. I made the macaroni. I took the meat out. It's hot and ready.
Was it any good?
Delicious. I think it's pretty good.
He must have ruined
And I'm going to tell you something.
He ruined perfectly good
Vinny,
sauce.
you made a great sauce. Vin, you made a good sauce. I didn't ruin it.
Why don't you give us a taste?
Taste it. See what you think.
It's perfect.
Right? You guys made
You
the
didn't do
sauce.
this.
You made the sauce. The sauce is perfect. The meat is delicious. I snuck a sausage. I snuck a meatball. And then I didn't see it, so I snuck the macaroni in. It's al dente. I told the folks about
Perfect. Forget about it.
Who helped you with that?
Delicious.
Frog Ice.
Who helped me with it? Your grandmother taught me how to do that about 30 years ago.
You done good.
I wish you could
Yeah,
taste
Ma.
this, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely delicious.
It's a perfect marriage between the sauce and the pasta.
But the steaks, Fat Vinny, I must admit, were cooked to perfection. And when they came out and you hear them sizzling on that plate. I hope you enjoyed the cooking as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And now to the steaks and Bobby Vance.
I told you, best in New York.
I gotta admit one thing. That appetizer was one of the better appetizers I've ever had, and the steak was magnificent. But you know what?
What?
I didn't expect any different.
You didn't expect any different?
No.
Why, you go into steakhouses every day and eat steaks like that?
No, I don't. But when a steakhouse is one of the best, I expect to be treated like that.
You do?
Yes. And for the fact that the waiter kept hitting me in the head with his elbow because the place was too crowded and I couldn't hear you talking, not that you had anything interesting to say, but I couldn't hear you. What do you have to say?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Tell them about the seafood appetizer. that
The
they
seafood appetizer was magnificent. They brought this out on a bed of ice on a pizza pan. They must have had 5 or 6 half lobsters on that pan with at least 20, and I mean 20 shrimps like this. Then they also had the lump crab meat, which was delicious. But the thing that stole the show was the crab cake made out of lump crab meat. Ladies and gentlemen, this was magnificent.
They served a 4-ounce crab cake. It was at least 4 ounces, nice and thick. Pure crab meat. And lump crab meat, not that garbage snow crab. And they serve it with 2 sauces, a cocktail sauce and a honey mustard sauce for dipping. Delicious. Delicious.
It was very good. I thought it was one of the best I've ever had. But I have one complaint.
What's the complaint?
It was so noisy in that restaurant. It was so crowded. We had the waiter was coming over trying to put down the dish. He hit me in the face with his elbow. What kind of place is this?
When the food is that good, you don't care what else happens around you.
Oh, you don't care if you get mugged while you're eating a good steak? What are you, a Nazi?
That's not true. That's not true. All food is delicious. There are just different degrees of delicious. There's delicious up here. There's delicious down here. Where am I going with that?
And there's delicious over here. I understand.
Let's talk about the wine list.
Yeah, let's talk about the
The most extensive wine list in the
This director that we have, this funeral director,
Yeah.
he goes in, he sits down, he orders a $15 bottle of wine that costs $15 and he pays $140.
Oh, how would you know?
What kind of guy? You don't even know what wine is.
When that tap came, you ran to the bathroom like you usually do. What are you talking about? How do you know what we paid for the wine?
I was sick.
Yeah,
I was sick from the price of the wine.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
had to go inside.
pay no attention to this man. He's a maniac. Believe me.
No attention.
Whenever we go to a restaurant, I have to go back the next day and do damage control. Believe me. Because the night before, he's telling the guy, make it a little bigger, give me a bigger plate, or your chops fat, and it's the steak big. That's all he wants to know. Then when the tab comes, if it's more than $25, I thought he wants to do murder. I gotta go back the next every time and do damage control. When are you gonna learn how to behave?
But the steaks, Fat Vinny, I must admit, were cooked to perfection. And when they came out and you hear them sizzling on that plate, and we ordered the medium rare,
Cooked perfect.
nothing better.
They were so rich tasting, delicious, that you didn't want it to end. You wanted the dish to stay full.
It's dry, aged, primed at its finest. At its finest.
But I can't believe this guy's agreeing with me.
But Fat Vinny, I gotta tell you what.
Here it comes.
The potato.
The potato.
And the cream spinach. I could have done without that. I could have done without that. We didn't need that. Potatoes are potatoes are potato.
You gotta have side dishes. And in steakhouses, cream spinach and hash brown potatoes go together.
The steak was 3
It's
pounds.
like chocolate and vanilla. It goes
You don't need
together.
4 ounces of potatoes to go on top of 3 pounds of meat.
But you ate it.
Well, I ate it because it was there. But
And you ate Joe's.
I
and
didn't
you ate
touch the
Vinny's,
cream
and
spinach,
The black hole, ladies and gentlemen, I keep telling you. Sally T calls him the recycling plant. The man is right. You're a recycling plant.
No. There's certain degrees of recycling. There's recycling over here.
No, that's food.
I'm over here.
That's delicious food. Let's talk about the dessert, you banana.
Let's talk about the dessert.
Go ahead.
This tiramisu.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, in English, it's lift you up.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that restaurant that can lift me and you up except a crane. You lift you up. What are you?
And after you finish, we had to get a crane to get you out of there. Come on, you don't see those desserts in any other place in New York. They're all very unique. You go to
That's
New York
because most
restaurants.
people today are diabetics. You don't see them.
You go to New York restaurants today, you see the same desserts. They're made by the same people. Not at Bobby Van's. At Bobby Van's, they're all unique. Come on, give the guy that.
Most people, ladies and gentlemen, they give knives, forks, and spoons.
Stars.
Stars. Fat Vinny and I are getting away from that. As you could tell, we are Italian guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this restaurant 3.5 mozzarellas.
Wow.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is almost 4 mozzarellas.
Which we have never given.
Are superior. Now, 3 is excellent. 2 is very good. 1, forget about it. Don't go there no more.
We don't go there.
We don't go to 1. Till we meet again, bon appetit.
I'm out of here.
Vinny, let's Mangia Mangia.
I eat Aunt the pasta twice just because she is so nice, Angelina. Angelina, waitress at the pizzeria.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There are 2 secrets.
Okay. Change your take. Action.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There are 2 successful secrets to successful secrets. And if you have any secrets that
2
you
of
want to
them.
tell
There are
us,
2.
there are 2 of them. You should take these
And they're
2.
successful. If you
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There are 2 secrets to successful cooking. This fucking guy with his... There are 2 key secrets to the ingredients that you put downtown or in your nose. Now,
I keep soup and minestrone just to be with her alone, Angelina. Angelina, the waitress at the pizzeria.
Scene 1, take 10. Es una deja awarded.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There are two secrets to a successful fucking show. One is getting rid of me, and the other is getting rid of the guy with the fucking boom.
There are two secrets to the...
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to use fresh virgin olive oil
As opposed to stale virgin olive oil.
Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, what are we doing this morning?
Ti voglio bene, Angelina, I adore you. Ti voglio bene, Angelina, I live for you.
Today, we're going to use fine virgin olive oil, some fresh chopped garlic, some ground black pepper, salt, some fresh imported Italian tomatoes, some onions, and some whole garlic. And this fucking thing over here.
All easy ingredients to find.
Yes.
Let's talk about the tomatoes, Larry.
Well, for those of you who have your own gardens, who are lucky enough to have your own gardens, we suggest that you take the tomatoes off of the vine and use some basil and put that up your nose because it goes in your nose. I forgot what the fuck.
Tell them about the tomatoes, Larry.
Well, for those of you who are fortunate enough to grow your own tomatoes, there's nothing like a fine ripened tomato with your own basil, or as some of us might say, your own bazanagola. Now, I don't know why I said that because I don't know what to say after that.
Hold on, you can't get one fucking word out of your mouth. Not even one word.
En passione, you have set my heart on fire. But Angelina never listens to my song.
I agree, Fat Larry. Nothing bothers me more than when I go to the supermarket and I see women purchasing these jars. Wow. Wow. Well, who invited this guy back here?
He's the food taster. Let him taste the food.
I'm gonna taste the food. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna stand right here. Go ahead and cook.
The food test.
I'm curious.
He's gonna tell us if the food. Look.
Don't break the place. Just stand there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up.
Wake up, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Fat Larry and for Fat Vinny, like this, for Fat Larry and for Fat Vinny.
Maybe you should say this line in the email.
No. I want to say it nice. Fat Larry and Fat Vinny. Till we meet again.
I eat antipasta twice just because she is so nice, Angelina. Angelina, the waitress at the pizzeria. If she'll be my cara mia, then I'll join in matrimony with the girl who serves spumoni, and Angelina will be mine.
Aunt Tessie used to make a sauce that she called
We had an
gravy,
aunt.
and it was dark with the shit. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Once I hear him laughing, I fucking lose it.
I told them you needed the board. This is what they came back with. A 69-cent fucking blackboard that you had in the 3rd grade.
I mean, I'm about to make it end.
That too. Well, who invited this guy back here?
He's the food taster. Let him taste the food.
I'm gonna taste the food. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna stand right here. Go ahead and cook.
The food test.
I'm curious.
He's gonna tell us if the food. Look.
Don't break the place. Just stand there.
All right,
Where
guys.
else could he go? He's gotta come here. If he don't come here, he's gotta go to jail.
Scene 2, take 5, e sono in vuoti.
Now, who invited this guy back here, huh? Look, let's keep going.
Però stiamo parlando della scuola pasta. Io quando io ero piccolito Nico, mi piaceva giocare come i soldati, mi si chiesto in testa così, il soldato sogno. E ne sta chiedendo la guerra. Però gli italiani non sono buoni per guerra, sono buoni per fare una poca cotta. Ma questa è un'altra storia. Masca di mano. Ma lava di mano, senza fare un richisto e poi chisto.
Frog guys, let me ask you something. Does Fat Larry and Fat Vinny ever say anything about me behind my back?
No, Anthony, they never say anything about you. Never.
Alright, good.
Maybe they refer to you as a funeral director now and then.
First, we're going to take you to our kitchen, and we're going to show you how to make a great Italian meat sauce from scratch. What that has to do with steaks, I don't know. You got to ask our esteemed director. He wouldn't know a giraffe from a mozzarella, this guy.
The director.
The wine, I'll tell you the truth about the wine. The director over here.
One of the best wine selections in the city.
The director over here.
The most extensive wine.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want me to talk because he don't want to hear what I have to say. The director over here who never drank wine in his life.
Drinks wine out of grape jars. Grape jars, ladies